Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Grant Source Live. And today we have a very special guest, one of my friends that I have seen all over the country. Seen her in California, just saw her in New Orleans, and we're going to be talking to the co-founder, Betty Phiri from One Dream Foundation. But before we get into her story and how she is impacting the world, I want to talk about our few sponsors today. Our first sponsor is Zulu Nyala. I met them in New Orleans at the AFP convention, and we started partnering with them because they help people find and get money for trips at their galas. Everybody's selling trips at their galas, but they do it with no money up front. It's the most incredible experience that you'll ever get in South Africa, and they'll work with you on consignment until it's sold. Average sales price is about $5,000. So you can find them in the app and on the website. And Exempt Me Now. People ask us about grants, and that's what we do and specialize in. We have had a gap with a partner that can help us start nonprofits, because I know a lot of you are trying to find money for your mission, but first need to start a nonprofit. So Exempt Me Now will help you get started, get that nonprofit, get that 501c3, so you can get grants and find money for your mission and for your passion. So thank you, sponsors, for sponsoring the show. So let's get to it. Betty, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal, as always. So I'm excited to have you on the show and eternally grateful for you spending a little bit of time with us. I know you're extremely busy.
No, I understand, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm excited to see you again after our collision meeting, the second of, well, like you said, we've been meeting each other all over the country. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
All over. And for those of you that don't know, you've probably seen a couple of our YouTube videos and you saw us popping confetti and you saw the big check. That was One Dream Foundation next
Absolutely.
to it. Having a lot of fun at these conferences. So
that's
tell us what One Dream Foundation does, Betty.
So One Dream Foundation has short-term goals and long-term goals. And for the short-term goals, what we do, we identify need on, so originally I'll introduce myself. I'm Betty, I'm a co-founder of One Dream Foundation, living in St. Louis, Missouri, but originally from Zambia.
Okay.
And so growing up in Zambia, I didn't grow up with money. It was really very basic. So I grew up poor, to be direct. And so One Dream Foundation came about trying to help those kids who would be going through similar circumstances I grew up in. And so one of them is we sponsor girls. Our short-term goals, we sponsor girls with school supplies, pencils, and sanitary pads, underwear, toothbrushes, things that bothered me when I was growing up. So it's one of our short-term goals. We send school supplies. And we also do, like albinos, we just recently came across that albinos are really sidelined in Zambia. And so we send sunscreen and long sleeved shirts to these underprivileged or sidelined kind of community, what on the short-term goals. Long-term goal, we are building a hospital, school and research center in Zambia. And to do that, we're using an app. So we have an app that does fundraising. And so we are building a school, hospital, and research center in Zambia. That's our long-term goal.
Excellent. And so how long have you guys been, I know you said it started with pencils. How long has the actual foundation been in existence?
I get emotional when I talk about my pencils. One Dream Foundation has been in existence for 10 years. And the school project came.
Yeah, you told me the story.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry. But yeah, so we have been in existence for 10 years. The long-term goal only came about to build a structure, to build this school and research center and the hospital. But initially, we were sending pencils. And why? Because, like I said, I grew up in kind of well, I was privileged when my father was alive, but my father died when I was pretty young. And so when he died, my mother had very little education there. She couldn't sustain us and her in the city where we lived. So we had to move into the village. That's where she was more comfortable. Her parents were there. We moved in the village, and within a year or so, I started school. I started school, and in my first grade, one of the evenings, regular evenings, walking back from school with my friends, we used to stop by a riverbank to cool off because it was such a long walk. And so we stopped by the riverbank to hang out, to play. I lost my pencil. I dropped my pencil. That time I didn't even know I lost it. I just knew it dropped. I thought I had it. I didn't have a school bag. And so I get home in the evening. I tell mom, when I wanted to do my homework, I realized I didn't have my pencil in my books. Yep. Ask her for a pencil, and her usual cry after she lost her husband, my father, was, your father died. Your father died, and so she panicked. Everything that involved money made her panic. And so I heard that cry so many other times, and really, I didn't expect it to come on a pencil. Yeah. I thought a mother would just go in and grab one from wherever she got it from. But then the father, she says, your father died. I do not have money to buy you this thing. And that panic came about. She beat me up, go to bed. You're being irresponsible. That was a long thing pencil that you lost. So I went to bed crying and also having that echo of your father died, knowing that life has really changed. We don't have a father here. Early in the morning, I had to wake up extra early to retrace my footsteps to find that pencil. Otherwise, I would have gone to school and I wouldn't have written that day because nobody had two pencils in our classroom. Yeah. So I found my pencil by the riverbank, which was a good ending to my story. Found my little green chewed on pencil, and it was good. But then fast forward later, I moved to the US to join my husband, who is also a co-founder of One Dream Foundation, Oliver. Mm-hmm. I joined him. We lived in North Carolina at that time. He was a student there. So as an international student, his shopping was mostly at the dollar store. So we at the dollar store doing our grocery shopping. And as we were walking down the aisle, I noticed 20 pencils for $1. That time I wasn't even sure of the price. I knew we were going to a dollar store. But then I saw 20 pencils in a bag. And I asked him, you told me we were coming to a dollar store. Are you telling me all these pencils at like $1? He says, yeah, this is a dollar store. And he was casual about it. But that excited me because I saw how many girls would go to bed hungry without a pencil. How many I could help.
Confetti right now if I had some.
We just need to pop some confetti. Can you imagine? So the dollar store just turned things around because then I worked at a restaurant that paid me $6 an hour. But I knew from my $30 a week, I would use 1 hour and buy 100 pencils. Because $5 was giving me 100 pencils. And so every week I would buy 100 pencils from my 30 hours, which was enough. I had 29 hours to play with, but I had my 1 hour of my work to buy 100 pencils. And so I would have 400 pencils by the end of the month and sent to rural schools in Zambia. And that's how we started doing it. But then the shipping got overwhelming. We realized we needed to have a structure. Eventually, we decided we need to build a school. So a school came about, we were building a school. And as we were doing that, I lost my sister taking her baby to the hospital on her back. The baby was on her back. She was walking to the hospital. But the hospital was so far away, she couldn't reach. The baby died before mother could get to the hospital. That was my young sister. When that news came to me, that made me panic again. I'm thinking, how can somebody lose her child walking to the hospital because it was so far away? Because we don't have so many of those facilities close by in villages. Yep. So then we thought we also had to add a hospital to the project. And that's why we now, on our long-term goals, we have the school, hospital, and research center.
And tell us about the impact, because people don't know what type of impact you're making. Right now, you have it in our app, a special offer where they can go directly and download your app. It's $199, right?
So to do that long-term project, we came up with an app, Luba Radio Mix app. LUBWE. On a one-time buy, $1.99. It's a one-time purchase, but you get to enjoy music from around the world. So the app will give you music from around the world 24/7. You only spend your $1.99 donation, which buys a brick towards this project. So every download is buying a brick towards this project. And the app again is LUBWE, Luwe Radio Mix app. It's on Apple, Google, and Amazon.
And you can find it in the Grant Source community store under Donate to a Good Cause. You can download it. And so tell us how many because this is astonishing. You buy a brick every download. How many downloads do you have so far?
So right now, after Startup Grind, where we met, you remember, we are now past 1 million downloads.
Wow.
So but we've been grinding this thing and we've been pushing this thing. And the power is the sharing button. When you download, the app comes on with a share button on it. You share it with your friends on social media, and that's how we've been having numbers. The app is played around the world. It's not just in America, it's a worldwide app. You can download it anywhere. We have listeners in Macedonia. I just had to mention that one because that beat me. Like, how did we get into Israel or Iraq? Anywhere. The app plays, and music is a global collection of music that plays there. But you buy your one brick and that's it.
So just to recap, she is helping you donate to a good cause, whether it's buying a brick to a hospital, to a school, to help underprivileged kids around the world, and send them tons of pencils. So we're about to wrap up, Betty. Tell us what you like best about Grant Source when you saw it.
You know what? I just got gravitated to the work you're doing because as a foundation, you realize, One Dream Foundation would not even know where to go if we had to find grants and anything in that context. You've made it so easy. You've become like a bridge to us, where you have information, you are able to package it where I could understand, and also help us as foundations, which is I just love you guys. Besides loving Grant Source, the passion you have in this project is just amazing. And I just love that we've connected. You make us as foundations even believe in our projects more. Thank you for what you're doing.
No, and thank you. And why we do this show is all about the impact. So tell us real quick and tell our community, if they could help you, if there was a grant out there for you, how could you use that money to impact your mission?
If there's a grant there, already on the app, 100% goes to the foundation. That grant, we have land for this project, for building this school. We've been grinding to sell the app one at a time. If we had a grant, we would be building this project already. It's Absolutely. Needed, it's a need. So having that money available it will just be godsend, because we are ready to go now. We have the land secured already. We have an architect that has done the drawings for us. We just lack the finances to proceed to finish the project, to build the hospital and the school. Excellent. So yes, we would appreciate any connection. Thank you so much.
We're gonna blast this out to the community. Betty, I thank you for being on the show. I wanna thank all of our sponsors, Zulu Nyala and Exempt Me Now, for sponsoring the show. I want everybody to remember, Grant Source helps you find money for your mission. And I'll leave you with this. It's not about the money. It's all about the impact. Have a blessed day.
That's right. Thank you.